Self-improvement advice is often about the things you should start doing, right? But there's another side to the self-improvement conversation, and that's the things you should stop doing or at least take a break from. My next guest has five breaks every woman needs, and the reasons vary from becoming a better person to avoiding burnout. Here to give us permission is host of the online community Thriving Motherhood, Lisa Andersen. Joining me in studio, it's great to meet you.
So good to meet you.
I love what you do and how you do it, and I want to start right there with that permission part, because sometimes, you know this as well as I do, we almost need someone to say, hey, a break is deserved. In fact, a break would be beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. I think when we're adults, we don't get the designated breaks. Like,
right.
We don't get spring break. We don't get Christmas break. We don't
Recess.
get summer break. Yeah, we don't get that anymore.
Lunch.
And in fact, those times are harder for women than when we were kids. So we have to give ourselves permission to do that.
And before we jump into the 5 breaks that you say every woman needs, define break for us. What is that?
I think a break is just a pause in the norm. So it could be something that we pause temporarily, but I think there's some things we're going to be talking about that really should be breaks. Like, we're going to make a hard break. Like, we're done. We're done with this.
This is a hard stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
First on your list, a break from chores. This is where the permission part comes in, and I want to thank you, hug you, and cry at the same time. A break from chores.
Yes, because you and I both know, everybody knows, like, you never finish.
Well, there's
You're never done.
always something to do.
Exactly. And so I think that's where we have to take control and just be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done right now. So I like to do this a couple different ways. Like, at night, I'm like, I pick a time and I'm done. Like, it doesn't matter if there's still stuff all over the place. Like, I'm done.
But that's the clock out for you. At 9 o'clock, no matter what the kitchen island looks like, no matter what the living room floor looks like, hard stop for me.
And I feel like in generations before, like, I had a grandma who would stay up until everything was spotless. And I'm like, I can't do that. My mental health can't do that. So I take a little break. And then I also do something called Fun Friday.
Okay.
I call it Fun Friday for myself. So instead of doing household stuff, I do something fun. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to just watch a show. I'm going to take a nap. It's just going to be what I want to do instead of what has to be done.
So that's a designated time for you, a day for you every week when it's not work or not chores, but it's just play and enjoyment.
Exactly.
Okay.
Fun Friday. I think everybody should adopt Fun Friday.
Come Saturday, how do you feel? What's the payback for you?
I mean, then I'm ready. Then I'm ready, like, okay, now I can tackle this stuff because I had my break. So I'm ready to work with my family to kind of catch up and do the things that we need to do.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, next, break number 2 that every woman needs is a break from social media. Amen, 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 sister. Yes.
Yes, and I think we're all getting well aware that we need to curate our feeds for our mental health. But I think even if we have a really well curated feeds, there's just so much information that I don't think as humans we were created to absorb all of that information. So I think it's so good for our mental health and just for our souls and for our minds to just take a break. So I like to clock out. At Friday afternoons, I'm done. Like, I just get off of social media and I take a break until Monday morning. And then, so I can just focus with my family for the weekend and just be there and be present.
I like how you describe that, because I do think women, when we talk about something like a break from social media, I think women's minds automatically go one of 2 places. One is, this is disciplined. This is a disciplined thing to do, which is true. I think they also think it will eliminate the distractions, right? And I can focus on what matters, which is also true. But I think there's a third piece in that, and that is mental clarity. Like, we can't constantly feed our brains, like you described, with that nonstop content and expect to take things in their fullest, right? In the most sparkly form and fashion. So I think that mental clarity that comes from putting down the phone for a designated period of time is something to really celebrate.
It is, and it feels amazing because you do. I think during the week I get so amped up because there's so many things and I'm like, okay, I got to try that and do that. And so it's just nice to just take a breath.
Yeah. You don't even appreciate what's coming at you. And there's some good stuff coming at you, but that break, I think, will help you see, part the clouds and see what's there. A break from comparison. Give me your thoughts on this one.
So that's connected to social media, but even apart from social media, I think women have the tendency to compare themselves with other people. And I think that is kind of rooted in a good thing. I think we're so good at seeing the good in other people, like, wow, they're so good at that. But then we take it a step farther and we make it mean something about us. Like, they're so good at that, I wish I was. We're comparing our weaknesses to their strengths. So I think we need to take a hard break from that and just train our minds to just appreciate the good in others and then stop. We don't need to make it about us. They can be good and we can be good. It can be both. And it's just a happier way to live, but it does take some mental discipline and some training and just, so when you start thinking like, I wish I was, that's when stop, put the brakes on, we're not doing this. That's it.
And that inner sense of self, that core confidence, if that's in place, you can coexist like you described in a place that's happy for her and also settled for myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really lovely place to live.
It really is.
And to be.
Yeah.
A break from mom guilt.
Yes, and that's another one. Again, because women, we want to do the best we can in all that we do. We want to do the best we can for our families, and we want to do a good job. And so when we fall short, I think we have a tendency to hold on to that and just feel so bad that we yelled, or we forgot something, or we didn't do something as well as we thought we could. But that doesn't do any good for you or for your kids. It just brings everybody down. So a motto that I like to live by is every day is a new day. Like every day is a day, like a chance to try again. So when you go to bed, you put all that to bed, and then you get up and you're like, okay, it's a new day. Like, I have done nothing wrong. Everything is great. And then, so it's just a good habit to get into.
Or new minute, or new hour.
Yeah, exactly.
I find myself, I pause on this only because I think guilt has a place as a teacher in our lives. So what do you think is the balance there? Like, sometimes those little pangs, those mom moments, I think are there to teach us something or redirect us.
Exactly.
And then sometimes, as you describe, it just drags us down to the point of pointlessness,
Well, and I think the way that you can make it a teacher is you just reflect. I like to write down at night, okay, this didn't go well. What can I do differently next time? How can I handle it better next time? So that you are kind of prepping yourself for the next time you encounter that situation, and you can handle it a little better. And then you can let it go, because you know what you're going to do next time, or you're going to try.
You believe every woman, in conclusion, needs a break from the kids she loves with her whole heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And which maybe seems, and again, I think people have a lot of guilt about that. But if you think about it, when you take a little break, you take a little time for yourself, you come back happier, more rested, more able to be your best self, which is beneficial for you and for your family and for your kids. So yes, take a break from your kids. A couple hours, a day, couple days, whatever you feel like you can do and what you need.
There's that permission again. If you need it, Lisa's giving it. Lisa, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You host and facilitate conversations and topics like this all of the time on your platform. How can we connect?
I do. I'm on Thriving Motherhood, and so I just post there, and I hope to help you feel permission to take breaks and take care of yourself as a mom.
Thriving Motherhood. We'll meet you there. Thank you so much
Hey,
for your insight and ideas.